How's it going, everybody? We are back in the wonderful world of Lake Lure, North Carolina, and we have a customer with a 1982 Airstream, and right there, and she has the original Dometic air conditioner on there, and it is finally decided that it's going to take the eternal coffee break, and we are here to replace it. And today we are using a new product, new to the market. Our friends at ASA Electronics, the ones who make the Advent air conditioner, they now have a low profile Advent air conditioner, and that's what we're going to put on. Going to put a low profile Advent with an Advent sealing assembly and an Advent heat strip. So let's go take off the old stuff. So there you have it. It is a dual therm Penguin. But I think back then they didn't call them Penguins yet, but definitely dual therm. And it even has a shroud that says Airstream on it. And this Airstream's lived most of its life under this shelter here, so it's really dirty up there. But thankfully, we've got some good clearance. A lot of these shelters that they put over these campers, they put them right over the air conditioner, and man, it sure makes life hard when you know, you ain't got much room to work. Let's go see what Jason's up to. All right, Jason in here working with no light. Got the old original Dometic sealing assembly here. What do they call those? Ribbon harness or something like that. And this one's got a heat strip in it as well. Alright. Well, this is going to be adventurous. We're going to have to get all this old stuff out of the way, and once we got our hole cleared up, then we'll swap out the roof units and all that good stuff. I'm going to go get Jason a flashlight. Well, Jason's already found something interesting. He took the cover off the junction box for the AC voltage, and I don't know how well you can see it, but we got a burned up neutral right there. Yeah. No, actually that's a ground. Green yellow wire right there. But anyway, the insulation's melted on it right there. No matter. We're replacing it all today, so. Were you able to find the breaker?
No.
Okay. Now we're on the hunt for a breaker box. And if I remember right, on some Airstreams, they keep them in the closet, the big main closet. Alright, so we did find the breaker box back there in the closet. We just had to move some totes out of the way. We're going to take the old voltmeter here. And I've got a mode on here that will tell me if there is any live wires. All I gotta do is point it at it, and it'll start chiming if we've got voltage. And it is not chiming at all. And I'm not doing a very good job of cameraman in here, and we have no voltage, so we are dead in the water. Interesting that the black wire is tied into a white wire. Wow, there was a thermal issue here. Wow, look at that, yeah. Busted wire.
Oh, the wire nut's melted.
Wire nut melted. We got a loose connection in here. Oh yeah. Yeah. Alright, so Jason just cut off the Romex here. About right here at the junction box. He's already got it stripped back and ready for an installation on the Advent. And now we're going to take out these two anchor bolts here, and it almost looks like it's only got two. Kind of crazy. One long one and one short one.
You're the judge.
Well, these 1982 air conditioners are weird.
I understand.
Oh, they're the same? Okay. One looks shorter than the other.
Oh, here's a third one.
Okay. Jason did find a third one hiding behind the heat shield or the heat strip. That makes more sense. Alright. Yeah. Got a drip pan and a drain line, and apparently Airstream has been running air conditioner condensation water off down through the walls for a long time. Oh. It looks like somebody has sealed it. I hope not. I hope that's not a bunch of Dicor or something there. Oh yeah. Oh god, I hope that's not construction glue. Okay. Well, the unit broke free from the drip cup assembly. Hey, maybe we can just leave that there.
Yeah.
If it's going to be in the way of airflow, maybe not. I don't know. We might be able to take a Sawzall and just cut it, get that out of the way, and then we can leave the rest of it there, because that compression gasket should go right around that. Oh boy, with an Airstream, there's always something. All right, so well, at this point, we'll swap out the roof units and see how, or at least get this one off, and then see what the game plan is going to be. Yeah, I mean at this point. Wow. Stand by. You got that? He's crazy. Those old air conditioners are not light either. There's no room in there to work. See that big refrigerator up against the camper, so we were able to just scoot it off the side of it right onto his shoulder. Alright, we're going to unpack the new one so we can get that old one in the truck. Alright, here's the unpack. For whatever that's worth. Whoever cares to see it. But this is the new Advent low profile. Warranty card. And look at that sexiness. Alright, I'm going to get that out and get that up on the roof. Let me show you what it is that Airstream did back in the day. And they did this so that you didn't get condensation running down the roof and down the walls and all that. But there's a drip pan glued to the roof. And where the drain holes on that Dometic are line up with the drip pan right here. It goes across the evaporator hole, or not a evaporator hole, but the hole in the roof. Catches the water, runs it down a drain tube that goes through the walls. And whoever installed that last Dometic that was up here was not the original. The shroud's original, but not the unit. And what they did is they just notched out the compression gasket to get around all the drip pan stuff. So that's what we're going to do. The benefit, we don't have to worry about rain, because it don't rain in here. The only thing what we've got to worry about It's just air conditioner condensation. But if we seal this up, install this smartly, then we won't have to worry about condensation getting back into the side of the camper. But we are going to cut out the compression gaskets the same places that they did on that Dometic that we just pulled off. That way it'll fit over those drip pan trough that runs across our plenum. So, and this extends, you know, beyond here and beyond here, and sits right underneath the drain holes of that Dometic. And it drains it off down through the wall, but we're gonna have to remove this, I know for sure, because that advent sealing assembly, this is going to conflict with it. So we're going to have to take a Sawzall or something like that and cut it off there. And then I wouldn't be surprised a bit if we don't have to run down to the hardware store and buy some 2x2 and frame this out. I've just got this gut feeling that that sealing assembly is not going to like this narrow ceiling. So it's always an adventure with an Airstream. Well, we got it, the weather strip notched out. Not weather strip, compression gasket. We cut out the same sections that were cut out on the old air conditioner. Got it up there sitting in the drip tray. And now we are getting out the sealing assembly kit to see how compatible this is going to be. My gut tells me we're going to be going to the hardware store and buying some 2x2. But I don't know. Let's find out. Well, we did a dry fit with the sealing assembly and our air discharge chute that Jason's putting in. And it seems as if we're going to get away with this without having to build a frame. These skinny depth roofs are they can be very tricky. But anyhow, we're putting the discharge chute on there now, and then we're going to see how the sealing assembly fares on there. But as far as the drains on this air conditioner, they drain off out to the back of the pan, so they're not even going to be over you know, the thing that the cup there, for the trough, lack of better words. I think trough is a pretty accurate word. So I don't know. It's always a trip with an Airstream. Jason is moving the roof unit over a little bit. I don't know how much that pan's going to let him move it, but
I might have to get where you're at real quick.
Okay. We want the holes to line up with the sealing assembly. I have to say I don't like how flimsy, if you will, the ASA sealing assembly is, but when it's all installed and put together, it's serving its purpose in life, and there's no harm. We need to go back there to the back of it and hold those air discharge chutes together a little better.
Drip pan.
Drip pan's in the way now?
A little bit.
Alright, so the next difficulty we are having, of course we've got this in, even though it's not all the way tight. We got to get these chutes to get collapsed inside of each other a little bit better. This is the only other thing about the ASA ceiling assembly that I don't care for. It's just too much sheet metal, you know. But it's cost effective, so we'll get that collapsed a little better. But right here's the problem. You can see this plastic drip pan right here that's glued to the roof is preventing us from getting at that riv nut right there. So we're just going to see what we can do to just kind of convince it to scoot back.
It sounded way more cross-threaded than it was.
Yeah, no, I know. That's been my experience in the past too. They sound obstinate, and then they free up and spin like they should. That last riv nut is not real accessible, but there's not much we can do because of this air discharge off to the side. It's all the way up against the wall there of the plenum. So we're gonna have to figure out a way. We're probably just gonna have to take a drill and just drill through it.
Let's see how off is that?
It's off. It's what, a solid ½ inch off.
Really?
Not even hitting the riv nut. We're just gonna have to notch out that pan somehow.
I'll move the hole to here. Let me see.
It ain't gonna hit the air conditioner though.
Try to get back where I can see what's going on.
Yeah, go ahead. And of course, we got 12-volt wiring sticking back through.
I'm gonna stand up there and try to push it.
Okay, so we've got the ceiling assembly flush against the ceiling. Got our Romex run over here. Got it through our wire gland. Got it all wired in. Our discharge chute here, we will tape this up before we put the bottom assembly on. But that's our discharge chute, and we're getting ready to put the cover on our junction box. And then this plug here will be for the heat strip that we're going to put on. After we get all this done, then we got to go back on the roof, take the cover off the air conditioner, and put the heat strip on. And that's this guy right here. So this goes right on the front of the evaporator. 4 screws hold it on, and there's the plug to plug it in with. Alright.
Oh, please don't be stupid.
You know it has to be. Well, I'm excited to see the D shafts sticking through the holes, deeply as they are.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fine.
Okay.
Where's our knobs?
In the Ziploc bag right there. A lot of times it helps to go ahead and just put the knobs on first. That way it'll help hold the ceiling assembly up for you while you put all the screws in. And then the shaft is a D shaft, so they only go on one way.
Alright.
And then we do have to take this filter cover off to access a couple of the other screw opportunities. Yeah, if we get one right there in the middle, that'd be fantastic. Good deal. All right, so we got down the sides here, there's 4 of them. And then there's one for here and one here. Have I asked you guys if you've subscribed yet? If you guys wouldn't mind, we would love it if you would subscribe, and that way you know when new videos come out. If you ring the bell, subscribe, share our videos, we'd be eternally grateful. We appreciate it. This is what we've got going on. So Jason's up there on the roof, and he has just installed the heat strip or block, if you will, and the cord is right here. Comes down here, plugs into our control box here, and so that sits right in front of the evaporator. And then we've got our cold air discharge taped off here, so that way all the cold air is coming down into our sealing assembly. And wow, about the only thing we've got left to do, guys, is put that sealing assembly on and turn it on, give it a test run. But the instructions that came with that heat strip, it's crazy easy. It's got 4 screw holes on each end, and comes with a pack of 4 screws, and it screws into holes that are already pre-existing on the sides of that evaporator. Then you drop the cord down through the air intake, plug it into your control. Now you got heat strip. So anyhow, let's get this sealing assembly on, and turn the breaker on and give her a test run. Stand by. There's always something. We've got it all put together. Went to go turn it on, and there's no fan blowing. Got a compressor, no fan blowing. So unfortunately, Jason's back on the roof removing all 25,000 screws that are holding the shroud on the Advent, and taking the
all up in the foam everywhere, both sides.
What, the squirrel cage?
And the
condenser
fan.
Well, that explains why it ain't blowing.
Dude, it's jammed everywhere.
Well, we gotta see what we can do about that. Other than
I
that,
don't know what to do about this.
I guess I'm going to the roof. Here we go. All right. Well, we're at a standstill now. Basically, the long and the short of what's going on is you know, we got this roof unit up on the roof, and we got everything installed, put together, plugged up, power to it, turn the knob, and no fan. No low, no medium, no high. Put it on AC, and compressor would turn on and hum, but the fan is doing a nada. And so we got out my test box, plugged in the test box to the roof unit. Maybe by chance it's a bad control, so let's use the test box. And even with my test box, the fan would not turn on. So got on the roof, pulled the shroud, pulled the evaporator cover, and my guy Jason noticed that the condenser fan at the back of the unit and the squirrel cage for the evaporator, both of them are jammed up in the foam, the styrofoam foam insulation that are around those fans. Upon further investigation, Jason noticed that the motor mount, and it's very similar to a Brisk Air 2 motor, 4 screws, motor mount. He could take his hand and push it against the motor, and all the fans would be freed up and spinning like they should be. But as soon as he'd take his hand off that motor, it would go back. So clearly this air conditioner's been dropped. I can't see that at the factory they're taking bent up motor mounts and installing those. Very unusual to have an Advent bat out of the box. I've never had that experience before. Every Advent I've ever installed has been mucho bueno. So a little unusual. and it's the low profile, which is my first time playing around with an Advent low profile. But other than that, I mean, everything's gone as good as it can be for an old 1982 Airstream. You definitely have to get creative and figure out little ways to get around little things because it's an 82 Airstream. But anyhow, a little discouraging, you know. Customer is understanding, thankfully. So we've already got the call in to our distributor to get us another one in on the way so that we can have that tomorrow morning. And we'll get back out here and take that one off, put the new one on. But I think before we do that, we'll take it out of the box back at the office and make sure everything is spinning freely like it should. Guys, thanks for watching. Really do appreciate, especially if you've made it to this point in the video. We are very grateful for you taking the time to give us your YouTube minutes. Please give us a subscribe, a like, leave a comment. We love the interaction, and we will see you on the next video. I'm gonna go home and get cleaned up. It's very dirty on that Airstream. Bye, guys.